Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog, nice, coming at you with the Marvel Legends Joe Fixit Hulk Build-A-Figure Wave Kang figure review. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey, I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about you.
6 figures in a wave. You need all 6 figures to complete Joe Fixit. Nice artwork on the side of the box. It is the same on the left and the right. Alright, let's bust this bad boy open and see what's what. Here we go. Nathaniel Richards, aka Kang the Conqueror. His bio on the back of the package reads, born in the 31st century, Kang employs time travel and hyper-sophisticated technology to conquer all of time. Kang is packed in with the right leg to complete the Joe Fixit Hulk Build-A-Figure. Kang has quite a few aliases. You heard me refer to him as Nathaniel Richards, as he may be some descendant of Reed Richards, but he was originally created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and as Rama Tut, he first appeared in Fantastic Four number 19 in October 1963, but as his Kang persona, he first appeared in the Avengers number 8 in September of 1964. While Kang does not have any superhuman abilities himself, he is a time traveler from the 31st century, and obviously the technology in the 31st century is going to be highly advanced, so he does have access to that technology. And this is basically a suit of armor that he's wearing here that is fitted with all types of doohickeys and gadgets and power and energy blast, and obviously it will enhance his strength and durability and speed and what have you. So he is a formidable foe in terms of fighting ability and his ability to take down other superhuman characters. So this was probably the figure that I was looking forward to the most in this wave. Really happy to have an updated classic Kang that is properly sized. You know, we did get a Kang from Hasbro that was basically just a repack, which I think I still have. I guess I'll break him out for a size comparison, but he was very undersized, and I like what they did here, man. This is a really good looking figure. Looks like they reused a few parts that I could see. Looks like those arms are the arms from Gambit. I guess I can get a comparison with Gambit. Looks like the legs may be new, those long sort of thigh-high boots that he's got on. Kang is a 31st century thought. But obviously that head sculpt is new, and maybe the upper torso, or maybe that's just some overlay over some other parts. The way that sort of like tunic or shirt is kind of tucked into the belt. That belt looks like it may be new. But yeah, it's a very good looking figure here. Classic Avengers villain, and he's probably going to be one of the overarching villains in the next phase of these Marvel movies. We already know the actor who's going to be playing Kang in the movies. I forget his name, but let me know in the comments below. I guess something will be popping up here on screen. So it was only right that he showed up as an actual comic based Kang in an Avengers wave. Yeah, really good looking figure here. The green, purple, and the blue. I really like the head sculpt. It really looks like a helmet as opposed to a guy with just a blue painted face or something like that. Come on, Hasbro, with these numbers on the back of the legs. Will you guys start putting that on the bottom of the feet? But yeah, nicely done through and through. I don't really see any paint imperfections on my version. I think I got a good one here. Not much to complain about. He does come with a few accessories, so I'm happy about that. You know, I sometimes complain about the lack of accessories with some of these figures, but out of the package he comes with 2 fists, and he's also got a set of open hands with the fingers spread, and he's also packed in with the left hand with the trigger finger extended, which is interesting and odd because on the package it shows that it's the right hand that has the trigger finger extended. But he's also packed in with a weapon. This looks like maybe one of the guns that we got with Rocket Raccoon before. Not 100% sure on that. Let me know in the comments below. But again, he's holding this with the left hand. I don't know if we're to assume that Kang is left-handed or what. But yeah, I find that odd that it differs from the back of the package. You can see that his trigger finger is in the trigger groove, so that looks pretty good. Here's a look at that. And that's pretty much it in terms of accessories. I'll take it though. We got a gun. I don't know that they would still be using guns in the 31st century. I would have liked to see maybe some energy blast effects or something else in that realm, but I'll take the extra hands for sure. Maybe another head. I would have taken an additional head sculpt over the gun though, something angry. But then again, I guess that doesn't really make sense since this is more of a helmet. I don't know that he would have any expressions with the helmet on, but I don't know. I would have taken something else over the gun, but I'm happy with the additional hands at the very least. Maybe an unmasked head would have been cool, but in terms of articulation, this head does pop off, by the way. So yeah, if there was, if you wanted to customize an unmasked Kang the Conqueror head, kind of looks like a cross between Reed Richards and Tony Stark, I guess. But yeah, the head is on a ball joint. You can get him look up and down just a little bit, left to right, a little bit of pivot. It's not the greatest range of motion as far as looking up and down. Shoulders on a ball joint, they're going to be hindered a little bit by his tunic or whatever you want to call that, his sweater, futuristic sweater there. But you can get the arms up pretty far, and you can pretty much do a full 360 on the arms. You do retain the articulation there. There is that ball joint at the shoulder, but there is no cut at the upper bicep, so you don't get that swivel. This is what leads me to believe these might be the Gambit arms, but you get a little bit more than 90 degrees on the elbow, and he will swivel there on that joint, swivel in the hinge on the wrist. You get upper torso articulation, forward, back. You get a decent range considering that, you know, it's just the lower abdominal articulation basically, so you got to turn them left to right and everything there at that one joint. This is actually a softer material here, so you can get the legs up pretty far and you can get a decent split. And then you do have rotation at the upper at the upper thigh, at the upper boot basically, double jointed knee, and you do get a hinge and a nice deep ankle pivot on the foot. All right, a few size comparisons, couple swaps, and I'm gonna get you guys up out of here. So these are all his wave mates here. Every single figure is from the Joe Fixit Build-A-Figure wave that you see before you. Far left is the Falcon figure, and then right next to him going right is Joe Costa. We've got Kang smack dab in the middle. We have the Atmosphere Armor Iron Man, and we have the Stealth Captain America. Both of those figures are from the Gamerverse Avengers video game. And we can mix things up here a little bit. On the left is the Hasbro Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Red Ranger figure, which I'm really pleased with. I talked about this on Instagram. This is my first time opening one of these figures. Great articulation. I have the rest of the team on the way. I'll talk about that later in another video. And then on the right is a little blast from the past. This is the original Toy Biz release of Kang, if I'm not mistaken, from the Fantastic Four Classics line, because like I showed earlier in the video, there were two of these. There was the one released under the Toy Biz imprint, and then it was re-released under Hasbro as part of the Ares Build-A-Figure wave. I think this may be the original one. The only difference between the two was they switched up the color schemes a bit. But like I mentioned, you can see how small this Kang is. Some great details. He looks pretty good. The new Hasbro version is definitely on this old one though. Overall, there is some things that I like about the old one. I do kind of like the pinstripes on the boots, or at least the detailing, because those stripes are actually on the boots for the Hasbro version, but it's just a bit more detailed with the Toy Biz version. You know, we got the interchangeable hands for the Hasbro version, whereas you had the one set of hands that could not be swapped out or removed, where the fingers were articulated on the Toy Biz version. And so again, the Hasbro version is much better. The head sculpt looks more like a helmet, some futuristic sort of helmet. They did a really good job on this figure, but that's how those two stack up. And here he is next to some villains from the regular Marvel Comics universe. We have Thanos on the left. We're going to actually be getting an updated classic Thanos next year. Looking forward to that. And then we've got Leader here. I put him there because I broke out Dr. Doom on the right. I'm interested to see if they're going to complete the Intelligentsia team for us with Dr. Doom and Leader, and we'll get a new MODOK Build-A-Figure at some point. I think that's going to happen, especially considering that MODOK was one of the main bad guys in this Gamerverse video game too. And then on the right, just the average suited body, the chameleon figure here. Just showing you guys how all of those stack up. But Thanos was the big baddie of the first phase of the MCU movies. I think we'll end up seeing the leader at some point on screen. Kang is going to be one of the Loki type villains in this next phase of Marvel. I'm pretty sure we'll see Doctor Doom as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Chameleon in one of these Spider-Man movies that's coming up. You know, I like to dig in the crates a little bit with some of these reviews, but this is the old Toy Biz Young Avengers box set. All 4 of these figures here on either side of Kang. On the far left is Wiccan, and then right next to him is Iron Lad. I'll come back to him. Then we got Hulking, and then Patriot, and it was other members of this team. Vision was actually sort of kind of like a senior member in a way. It was a new kind of redesigned Vision after the events of Avengers Disassembled when he got torn in half by She-Hulk. That was a great story. If you haven't read that, check it out. I won't go too deep into that. But after Avengers Disassembled, the Young Avengers launched, and their book came out and their story came out, and so obviously it was a lot of younger members connected to the older Avengers in some form or fashion. If I remember correctly, I think Patriot was like a descendant of like the first like black Captain America, or the first African American who was going through trials for the super soldier program or something like that. I forget exactly how it went. Help me out in the comments below if you remember. But Iron Lad, if I remember correctly, is supposed to be a younger version of Kang. So a futuristic Kang, but the younger Kang. And Kang ended up being one of the main antagonists for their book. So it's very likely that we will see some Young Avengers action in this next phase of Marvel as far as the MCU goes. It would be really nice to see Hasbro redo some of these characters. They actually gave us Hawkeye, the female Hawkeye, which would actually kind of go along with these characters too. But Hasbro gave us that, and she just does not look right alongside all of these guys. You were hard pressed to find one of these sets that had paint apps that were good on each of these figures. I got kind of lucky with my set, but it was a lot of problems with the paint applications with these. This set still goes for like 150, 160 bucks or something on the secondary. But yeah, some new versions of the Young Avengers from Hasbro would be great. I said this before, but I think at some point we will get a Stature Build-A-Figure. And one more here. Here is how he stacks up next to some classic Avengers, 80th anniversary Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor, and the retro carded or vintage carded Vision. And I really like the way all of these look next to Kang. I think these are all properly scaled. Kang is not supposed to be huge, but he's definitely not supposed to be as small as that Toy Biz version. I like the way all of these stack up. Hopefully we'll see some more classic Avengers in the retro carded wave, or in some Avengers waves in 2021. Yeah, I thought this would work. This was a little kit bashed custom Reed Richards with a beard that I had. I forgot who did this for me, but I figured this might work here for Kang. The head looks a little small and it won't pop on the peg, but if it did, it might look okay, because like I said, he kind of looks like a mix between Tony Stark and Reed Richards. But a really dope figure here. I think they did a great job. Probably my favorite out of the wave so far. I still have one more to open up, so stay tuned for the review of Thunderstrike. And yeah, this is definitely one I would recommend. I see a lot of people starting to get this wave in the mail, so I would assume that it's shipping, and I would assume that it's showing up at retail. I did actually get this from retail, but out in Texas. Shout out to my man Pendelos Murtos for making all of these reviews possible. But yeah, get out there, get on the hunt, try to find this. Thanks for hanging out. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell down there. And until next time, peace.